I'm Father Terrance, and there's a spiritual counsel which I've come across a number of times in the things that I've read. It's from St. John of the Cross, from his sayings of light and love. St. John says this, he says, "Live in the world as if only God and your soul were alone in it. Then your heart will never be made captive by any earthly thing." Another translation of that is, "Live as though only God and yourself were in the world, so that your heart may not be detained by anything human." It's actually quite a beautiful quote, too, and I checked, and yes, St. John is considered to have had a melancholic temperament. It sounds like something us melancholics would say, kind of takes one to know one in a certain sense, right? St. John is not saying that we don't need the church or other people or things of the world. In essence, he's talking about where our spiritual focus should be. The idea of living as if it's just me and the Lord in the world, I would say it has a certain echo in the gospel. For example, when Jesus says, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also," right? Matthew 6:21. Where should my heart be? It should be with the Lord at all times. And in this idea of just me and Jesus, I think it can be very applicable for priests and religious and for those of us who don't have families to tend to. And yes, those of us who are melancholic, kind of always searching for the ideal. But there is wisdom in the saying, I think, for everyone. God is the only one who truly understands us, who loves us infinitely and unconditionally, and who's always with us. And you tend to be transformed by what you love. If the main love of my life is the Lord, I will be transformed by him, and I will resemble him all the more. It doesn't exclude loving others. The Lord wants us not to just love him, but he also wants us to love what he loves, which includes other people. But if he's drawing me closer to himself, he's going to challenge me to exclude putting my heart and my hopes into the things of this world. God wants every person and everything to have their right place, which is after him. And this is what the second part of St. John's quote addresses. He says, "Live in the world as if only God and your soul are alone in it. Then your heart will never be made captive by any earthly thing." So whether it's possessions or money or work or pleasure or excessive attachment to family and friends or attachments to positions of authority, other people's opinions of me, comparing myself to others, anxiety, worry, control, or attachment to my own will, my own opinions, and my wanting things done my way. Instead of all that, I need to be attached to the Lord and have my focus more on him. If I do that, what does it lead to? It leads to freedom, to spiritual freedom, the freedom of the children of God. Plus, if I've adopted this spiritual attitude of St. John of the Cross in some degree or another, well, that helps me to accept life's hurts and disappointments and frustrations with more humility and with more peace. So the lows in life aren't so low when I know that I have the Lord with me, within me, and always by my side. Some of us, because of our backgrounds or our particular struggles, or because of people being taken out of our life, or us seemingly not being able to have deep connections with others, or because of our temperaments, our dispositions, for some of us, God has done a lot of work to get us to a place where we can have this sense of more of an exclusive attachment to him. And those disappointments in life, a number of times, are the Lord's way of cultivating this spirit of detachment from the world inside of us so that we can be more attached to him. And lastly, being totally consecrated to Our Lady, I think it's safe to say that I can have that same approach with her too, living as if it was just me and her in the world, or just me and her and Jesus. The spiritual fruits will be the same because Jesus and Mary are inseparable. You can't have one without the other. I'm Father Terrance. Ave Maria, thank you so very much for listening. Please keep me in your prayers, and I will keep you in mine as well. God bless you and take care.